1998. I'll never forget it. It was the year when those grisly murders occurred in the Arklay Mountains. Soon after, the news was out to the whole world, revealing that it was the fault of a secret viral experiment conducted by the international pharmaceutical enterprise, Umbrella. The virus broke out in a nearby mountain community, Raccoon City, and hit the peaceful little town with a devastating blow crippling its very foundation. Not taking any chances, the President of the United States ordered a contingency plan to sterilize Raccoon City. With the whole affair gone public, the United States government issued an indefinite suspension of business decree to Umbrella. Soon its stock prices crashed, and for all intents and purposes, Umbrella was finished.
What?
Why did Capcom, or better yet, why did Shinji Mikami agree to end the Umbrella Company this way? This was the opening intro for Resident Evil 4. This is what we got after the conclusion of Resident Evil 3. What the hell were they thinking? Was Mikami tired of the story? We know that he got tired of the fixed camera angles and tank controls, but did that also include the main thread of the series? This is why I think that Shinji Mikami and Capcom should have just put the series to sleep, either for good or until they feel like they have some fresh new material for the series. And when I say fresh new material, I'm not talking about trying every single attempt at copying other successful franchises. People say that Resident Evil 8 should be its own game series, unrelated to Resident Evil. I agree, but I think that this analogy should have been considered since Resident Evil 4 came out. RE4 was completely different, from its story, characters, to its gameplay mechanics. And because of its success, then if it was a whole separate franchise, then old fans like me and everyone else who got invested with the original timeline might have gotten a unique conclusion to the series after Raccoon City was nuked. Perhaps then the Outbreak series would have actually been remastered or remade. Although I highly prefer a remastered version, seeing as remakes remove some of the good content that made those games memorable in the first place. The biggest question in my mind, though, is what would have happened to the series if Umbrella did not fall due to the stock market? We know that the company has many higher-ups that are to blame for the events that happened in Raccoon City, and even before that. Wesker, William Birkin, and Nikolai, these three characters were the main antagonists in their respective games. And the crazy thing is that they were only pawns of Umbrella. So who are the higher-ups that are in control of the company? Who are they? I don't know. Heck, even Capcom doesn't know, because they didn't bother continuing the series towards the path they were leading us with. I think they just got burnt out and wanted to try something new. Only they strove too far from Resident Evil's realm of reality, and now everything just doesn't make any sense anymore. And why would it? Every new sequel and spin-off does not answer the previous game's biggest questions, and instead presents us with even more unsolved mysteries. The way I see it, making the Umbrella Company fall due to stocks is just the weakest way to go for a company revolving around conspiracy, secrets, viruses, and an immeasurable kill count that is by all means unfathomable. Because by ending Umbrella this way, no one got any justice. After everything that happened, decades of torturing and experimentations on innocent lives, they got away with it. And all because we need to push that story aside and make room for a new antagonist. Terminator fans can relate, right? In Terminator Woke Fate, the creators decided to push aside the whole Skynet threat to make room for a new threat called Legion, which just so happens to also deal with sending Terminators into the past, and it's basically just the bootleg version of Skynet. Only here, Capcom decided to push aside the whole Umbrella threat and make room for how many new bootlegs, such as the Ganados or Blue Umbrella? Wait, who am I supposed to be afraid of here? Oh, right on cue for our latest example. Who's the antagonist of the current Resident Evil series? Madam Thickness over here. And yes, I'm supposed to be afraid of this. So as you can see, every new RE game that comes out introduces a whole new antagonist with a whole new storyline that feels very, and I mean very, disconnected from the previous game.
I don't understand.
I know you don't.
Right now, there's a thick, tall lady with European daughters who are all chasing after you. Why isn't this called Resident Evil Gamma House Party? And as you can see, this isn't a familiar location at all. Well, at least not until the Resident Evil 4 remake releases, because you can be guaranteed that Capcom will take as many environmental assets from RE8 and stick them in the RE4 remake.
That's for sure.
Now I know that currently they're trying to make it seem like Umbrella is still alive and kicking, only they're being sneakier than before. But does it really even feel like it matters? Why would it matter? They never showed us who the Umbrella higher-ups were, except for Oswald E. Spencer, but they killed him off in the first game where they finally revealed him in person. This is why I wish that Capcom had taken notes from the Resident Evil 3 manhwa, because they knew that the Umbrella higher-ups had to be seen. They gave us this bald executive who is by all means one of the most evil characters in the comic series. Basically, you can believe that he is one of the Umbrella higher-ups that should have appeared in one of the games or two. Then there's the Umbrella CEO himself. Even though technically Spencer was the CEO of Umbrella, he could have stayed as an observer while this man took control of the company. And if you want to see some examples of what qualifies him to be CEO of Umbrella, just look at the examples shown in these two videos. The Birkin vs. Nemesis full fight video and Hunk's last stand video is enough to show you the level of threat that lies within this man. But it's a shame that they never bothered to take any notes from the manhwa at all. And in the end of it all, oh god, in the end, Umbrella's downfall was accomplished not thanks to the efforts of Chris, Barry, Jill, Claire, or Leon, but instead, it was all thanks to Potato in the ass. Well, as far as we know. Hello, stranger. Welcome to the ScorePN. We've got the iconic grin as well as the new lime green logo in store for you. And for a limited time, you can purchase these here. This one's based on the Resident Evil 3 mobile game called Resident Evil The Missions. And this one I like to call the Jill Manwich. It's my blend of the two things I love in this world, Jill and memes. And don't worry about the prices. They're as low as they can be. Yep, I'm barely making any profit. But, the important thing is that you don't need to spend too much to look good in the groovy lime green logo. So get yourself a Jill Manwich t-shirt or any of these luxurious and spunky designs and wear them with pride.
Yeah, wear 'em with pride.
Trust me, anyone sees you wearing one of these and they'll immediately think,
Esta pinche vieja es buena onda, cabrón.
which translates to,
This guy, this is my kind of guy.
now over at my Patreon, I'm working on some secret projects. So if you'd like to have access to some of these never before seen videos, including updates and concept art from a comic book I'm working on based on Resident Evil Outbreak, then my Patreon's got you covered. I'll be updating everyone there with exclusive videos and newer art panels so you can see how far that project progresses over time. It's going to be the first comic book I create and I'm putting as much effort as I can into it, so I do feel confident about that project alone. You might also be glad to know that I've started narrating the S.D. Perry novel of Resident Evil The Umbrella Conspiracy as part of the Patreon exclusives, and there will be a new video based on each chapter every week. So don't miss out on any of these, my fellow jabronis. Honestly, supporting this channel helps tremendously. Well, way more than that. How can I put this more professionally? An ass load. And I just want to say thank you. From the bottom of my derpy heart, thank you to all my patrons. Here's a shout out for all of you. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it all the way through. Click the like button if you think the video was better than your ex. And hit the subscribe button, but only if you're turning on notifications, because otherwise you'll only be notified like once a year. Also be sure to check out my other videos not related to Resident Evil. I'm gonna try and balance my content with covering other franchises too, such as King of Fighters, Celebrity Deathmatch, Mortal Kombat, and so many different games from the original Xbox and PS2 era. And I know you'll be entertained with these big projects on the way. Anyways, stay safe everyone, and remember to have an awesome day.